Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Linda. And this is Gizmo.
We're the village's newcomers. We're here to share some of life in Florida's friendliest hometown with you. And we had a busy week, didn't we?
We always have a busy week.
Yeah, we
When
did.
is it not busy? Remember we warned you about wearing seatbelts? We've got a video to show you today.
And we have a study that shows just how the life expectancy is here in the villages.
Scams, scams, and more scams.
We will give you a first-hand account of an amazing lightning strike not too far from here. All that and more coming up right here on...
Send us your questions, we've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
What did we do this week? We ate out a few times.
We did. It was kind of a busy week. We just got back from Tennessee, so this week seemed like we were trying to catch up on things and, laundry, all that kind of thing, but busy.
We're going to show you a couple of the places that we ate because we get letters asking, what do you recommend? I love the ones where people say, we're going to be in town for one day. What do you recommend we see?
Yeah.
That's a head spinner right there.
That is. You don't know where to tell them.
But people often ask, where do you eat? Recommend some places to eat. Well, we ate at Lopez Legacy. And that's a good bit from here.
It is a good little ride.
25-minute ride, maybe, something like that.
Yes.
It's right up Buena Vista. It's easy to get to, but it takes a while. But it's delicious food.
Delicious food. Oh my gosh. I had a fantastic appetizer. I don't know if you saw that on Facebook. I had some kind of duck, wonton, something, whatever. I don't know. It was delicious. And the waitress there was adorable. She was so attentive and so friendly. And you all have to go to the Lopez Legacy.
From the prices were not bad, and we get some criticism, especially from a couple of you guys that say, you rich villagers eating out all the time. Don't you realize people can't afford to eat out all the time? Hey, we don't eat out all the time, but we tell you when we do. We're recommending places that it looks like we're doing more than we actually do.
Right.
I eat a lot of bologna, I want to tell you that. I like it. I like hot dogs. I like bologna. I like, she's a good
bologna.
cook. We eat at home most of the time, but we eat out once in a while, so give me a break.
Oh, I forgot to put out the hamburger. I'm making meatloaf tonight.
The wait staff and the hostess and actually the owner, we met them all up at Lopez, and you get the feeling, I do, of a more upscale restaurant, like one of the real places. We used to have a date night once or twice a year, and we go. That's the way you feel up at Lopez.
Yeah.
So, it's not a commercial for them. It's just a good place to eat. So there you go. We also ate at one of my favorites.
It is one of his favorites. It's a good place to eat. It's more cafeteria, a little bit more laid back, very family friendly.
Yeah, it's Wolfie's. It's in Leesburg.
Yeah.
And it's not fancy. I like the country fried steak, but they have meatloaf. They'll have roast beef. They have specials every day. I like it because it's unassuming and, it's where the locals eat. And those are the kind of places that you like to find. Yeah. Because as our critics know, the ones that say we eat out too much, hey, that's very reasonable at Wolfie's. Try it.
We took a trip to IKEA. People, we've only been there one time, a long, long time ago. And so...
Not here.
No, not here. It was...
Maryland, I think.
I think it was someplace.
Yeah.
But, oh my goodness, you get in there and you are like a little rat in a maze or a mouse in a maze. Couldn't find our way out.
They have a diagram of the store, and there's an arrow on the floor, and it only goes one way.
Yeah.
And once you start on that, you feel compelled to follow it.
Yeah.
It's probably a mile walk, zigging zagging through all their stuff.
Zig-and-zag.
That's a great plan.
Yeah. Only problem I had is I had to use the bathroom while I'm in the middle of the maze.
What a surprise.
I know, what a surprise. So,
what a shock.
I was like my grandma. My grandmother, she used to go into every restaurant and she'd go to the bathroom every time. Every restaurant in the world, she knew. But anyhow, story. I could not find it, and it took me almost 40 minutes to find the bathroom because you had to go this way, go through a pass-through. That was very stressful for me.
But they have it down to a science, and they take things like bookcases and entertainment centers and desks and tables, And they take them all apart and they put them in a small box that weighs an incredible amount. It's heavy.
It's very heavy.
And when you get it home, it's all packed so efficiently. You drag all that stuff out and then you got to put it together. And we spent all day yesterday doing that, didn't we?
We did. It was amazing. I'm changing out my closet office. Well, Jerry's helping. Jerry's doing most of it. But I'm just kind of guiding.
I'm helping.
I'm guiding. I'm directing him where to go. But yeah, it's fun. But IKEA is a very special place.
Yeah,
We liked
it's
it.
a nice store.
Yeah.
And I hope it holds up because it's a lot of particle board and chipboard and I used glue and went ahead and glued ours together. I hope we don't have to take it back. We have to break it up into pieces.
No.
But if you follow us on Facebook, we did a live broadcast from IKEA.
Yeah.
And we do one from lots of the restaurants that we go to. So if you want to see those little things, just follow us on Facebook. You can see on the top there what you look for. Of course, this week you did your usual. You did water aerobics.
I did it twice this week, and my goodness, Julie is my instructor, and she's amazing. But boy, we had a lot of work on Monday. We did a lot of leg work, and I was sore all week long. I felt like I got a great workout.
Those legs don't happen by accident, ladies and gentlemen.
Shoot.
And you played cards.
I did play cards. We played Samba the other night. I enjoyed that. Oh, my goodness. Ladies, if you don't know how to play Samba, you need to learn.
Guys, if you don't know how to play, don't learn.
Oh, now I know some husbands and men that do play Samba. It's a fun game. Mm-hmm. It's a lot like canasta, if you remember that old game, canasta.
And we went to play trivia with friends up at Eisenhower Rec Center.
That is fun. It just
Yeah.
really messes with my brain because I don't know a lot of the answers.
We did really well. We came right down
You
to the
did.
wire there
You did.
on that. And we had friends over here to play Mexican
We played
Train.
Mexican Train.
We like Mexican Train. Tell us any other good games that you play with friends. We also play Sequence once in a while.
That's a fun card game. So we had a busy week.
If you looked at those pictures of Gizmo while we were playing
Mexican Train.
Mexican Train, he's right there.
Yeah.
He wants to be here no matter what.
Yeah.
He will sit there and look at you like this until you pick him up and put him on a chair where he can see what you're doing.
He's often played Samba with the girls, so
He just wants to hang out.
yes.
Now, you may have seen our videos in the past. We've done a couple shorts, and we did one feature video on the Chase Rescue Sanctuary. That is a wonderful organization. It's located about a half an hour from here. It's located near the town of Webster. We went there last weekend, and
yeah.
we took our camera along. I love those animals. I love the lemurs. You got these little cavies. They're like giant guinea pigs.
Right.
White-tailed deer are friendly.
And the giant tortoise, he's amazing to watch.
We counted about, I think there were 13
There was
of those
quite
big
a few,
tortoises
quite a
just
few.
roaming the place. Really cool.
Yeah.
They have anteaters.
Yes.
Amazingly, they have, and
And beautiful birds. They had some cockatiels.
yeah,
and
but I want
things.
to talk about sloths.
Okay, talk
It's
about this.
not, it's not common you get to see a sloth.
No.
And they are really slow moving, and
Yeah,
they're
he's
inquisitive, but they just look at you, and doesn't that she look adorable?
That's all he did.
Here's a short video to tell you about a fundraiser that Chase is having real soon. You may want to attend. It's a great cause. Here's the flyer for that evening. if you can scan that, it'll tell you all the details.
I just love those animals. Let's go for some shout-outs.
First of all, I want to thank all our friends out there that hit that thanks button that's just under our video. And that gives us a donation we're using for equipment fund. And it's so nice of you. And you can see your name scrolling up there at the top. We really, really appreciate it.
This is John and Louise Rosa, and they just finished a lifestyle stay. They said they came, they saw, they experienced, and guess what?
They don't want to leave?
They don't want to leave. LOL, they said.
Here's Samantha and Marky. They're only 32 years old, but they watch our channel, and they have quite a bit of experience with the cane toad. Remember we mentioned that toad last week. We had a picture. Sometimes animals are maligned just by accident. You know, maybe that was a regular toad. We don't want you to kill it.
No.
But the cane toad is poisonous. And they gave us an explanation and told us a little bit about it and said, if your dog eats or tries to eat a cane toad, that poison can really affect your dog and maybe even kill it. So their advice was to get a garden hose and open your dog's mouth.
And that's hard
like
to do.
This,
That's hard to do.
like this. I'm just kidding. And pour that water in and flush them out. It says they hate killing animals, but the Florida Department of, they say that they hate killing animals, but the FWC, the Florida Wildlife Commission, encourages homeowners to kill these bufo or cane toads. And they hate killing any animals, but they value their dog over all other animals, and I think we do too.
El Swigum sent this picture of Sadie. And they said they were going to do a lifestyle stay, but they had to cancel because they already bought a home.
We have heard that many times, that people schedule a lifestyle visit and then they get excited and they start watching the computer and they're looking at the listings. They end up buying a home. Then they come down for the lifestyle visit and they've already bought a home. And then they hang out and look at their home and they just go like, oh, we bought a home.
Aww.
Congratulations. Carol Dawson in Orlando sent us this picture. She said, I know Jerry comments a lot about the beautiful skies and trees in the villages. Last night at 7:45 p.m., I was on my front porch and I just loved the way the sun hit these trees. Yeah, we do love it. You know, people make fun of us sometimes because every time we get in the golf cart and go somewhere, we go, oh, look at that sky.
Look at the clouds.
Look at the clouds. Oh, it's beautiful.
Steve and Lori said they have been to the villages many times, and now they've decided to take the plunge. Well, welcome. We'll see you when you get here.
Their parents live here, so those kind of people have been coming and going for a while, and they decided to move right in. Marcus and Rhonda say they're new to our videos, but they're drinking the Kool-Aid and learning fast. They'll be down in March for a lifestyle visit, and they're really looking forward to it.
And we went out of town last week, and we had some dear friends that watch Gizmo. Tom and Nancy, thank you so much for always being there for second parents to Gizmo. He certainly does love you.
Here's a photo of them. They took you to McDonald's, didn't they? I'll bet you he got an ice cream cone out of the deal. Kevin sent us this picture of his little buddies. He calls them the Dude Brothers. They're frequent viewers, and they send jokes in to you all the time, don't they? And he really appreciates when you send jokes.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Because as you can see, he works very hard at what he does. Yes, he does.
Bill and Colleen have been longtime viewers, and they've lived in Florida for 40 years. Well, they say they are not in the market for a new home, but they watch our show, and this is their baby Gracie, watching Gizmo, of course. Not us, but Gizmo.
And it's time for Viewers of the Week. Hats off to Paul and Roxy Jacobson. We met them a long time ago.
Yeah,
They've been here. They've been looking at homes and thinking about it, and circumstances kept them in their home state of California, but they finally did it. They bought a house.
Yay.
and they'll soon be living in the village of McClure. And they are such nice people.
They
and
really are.
congratulations.
They are.
You're the viewers of the week.
It's time for our first question. And this is from Brian and Tammy.
Well, this really isn't a question. This is more of a follow-up to last week.
Okay.
Brian and Tammy's question was featured last week. It was about seat belts. And they rented a cart without seat belts, and they asked, are they really necessary? So as an update, I want to show you this video. This was on Nextdoor, and I contacted the person that posted it, and they sent me the actual file. It's a little fuzzy, but I want you to watch it, and we'll try to even play it in slow motion if we can. A cart comes around a corner, the driver loses control, it bounces the curb through a yard, hits a tree, and the driver is ejected from the cart.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and luckily there are no serious injuries.
Thank
and
God.
I don't think anybody even went to the hospital. But thanks for sharing that video, and wow.
Yeah, they could have broken bones being ejected for sure. Hey. Oh, shoot. Okay, sorry.
Just ask those animals and then just go.
Can I stop you?
No.
The dishwasher's been going and it just drained.
Getting serious.
Let's get serious. Because it's so quiet now. We could, that whole thing was with that noise. I'm getting ready to sneeze. Sorry. Thank you, baby.
I can't do this forever. How come we can see your wire today?
Yeah, because I have it stuck over here. I should probably go down and then out, right?
They don't know. They don't know.
Good, okay.
You wear seatbelts? Wait till you
Okay.
see this video. We warned you last. I took your line.
Typical.
I took your line.
Also, I did that out of order, but
I
it's
know.
okay.
We had comments this week after we shared with you on Facebook that we painted our guest bedrooms a couple of weeks ago. And I had commented on Facebook about the cost of paint. Because we generally will shop at Lowe's or Home Depot. This time we actually got our paint from Sherwin-Williams, and that's where we've gotten all the paint for our home because we used a professional painter and he gets a discount.
Right.
But the price of paint, you can see here, that says paint is the latest good that home renovators or builders have noticed is harder to come by and pricier. There are supply chain issues. So we looked at prices and they ranged from $40 a gallon all the way up to $100 for top quality paints for 1 gallon of paint. Sherwin-Williams CEO John Moricus said the company raised its prices in the Americas by 7% in August and again 4% in September, according to the Associated Press. Wow. And we thought gasoline was expensive.
We had the dishwasher on.
Yeah, she had to run over and turn it.
Yeah.
We hope that didn't distract too
It
much.
was draining, and I went, what's that noise?
Just didn't think about it. Sorry about that. One of our friends works at the golf course, and he had an amazing experience the other day, and he's going to share it with you firsthand right now.
I work part-time at Bonifay Golf Course, and I was near the tee box on the 5th hole, and I heard a lightning bolt strike a tree. Oh, it was about 100 yards from me, and it was the loudest sound I've ever heard. I mean, all of us have heard lightning strikes hit the ground, but I've never been this close to one. And it certainly made the hair in the back of my neck stand up. And as I turned around, I saw about half of a live oak start collapsing to the ground. And there were two golfers seeking shelter out of the rain in their golf cart. Probably a bad place to do that. And I heard them scream. They did a U-turn, got out from underneath that tree. Luckily they did. This thing collapsed onto the ground. Later on, I went down and looked at it, and the entire trunk of that live oak was split right down the middle. And it was pouring rain. So at that point, with the lightning going on, the rain pouring down, I'm soaking wet, I decided, yeah, let's end this job today, and I got in my golf cart and headed on home. But it was something to behold, and to realize what Mother Nature is capable of doing is it's quite amazing.
You know, I have experienced some thunderclaps and lightning bolts that really startled me.
Oh, man.
But to be that close to one that destroys one of those giant live oak trees,
I cannot imagine the guys in that golf cart. They that would have probably stopped my heart.
yeah.
This question is from Joe. Hi, I just received a text from Seco regarding their surge mitigator protection product. Does anyone have this? Does it work? Does it really offer surge protection, or does it only offer peace of mind? Thank you.
That's a great question. One that I have been struggling with.
Yeah.
And you can look, I did a little research. I went right to the Seco, S-E-C-O website. That's our electric company. And they have some good information regarding the surge mitigator. And basically, nothing is going to protect your house from a direct lightning strike. This is going to offer some level of protection. It's actually outside the house.
Okay.
So it's going to stop major surges from getting in sometimes. They still say that they would like you to put individual surge protectors on your sensitive appliances, like your computer or your big screen television or things like that. And there are some exceptions to what their surge mitigator will protect. They have a warranty of $5,000 per appliance with a lifetime maximum of $500,000. It says it will protect large motor appliances such as the air conditioner, washer, dryer, refrigerator, stove, and garbage disposal. It costs $5.95 a month.
Okay.
There's a $25 installation fee, or you can buy it, and you can see right here on the screen that the cost of it ranges from $349 to $399 plus tax, and that includes the cost of installation. So you can rent it for $595,
Okay.
or you can buy it for about $400. So at $595 a month, that's $72 a year. You know, you're talking about you won't break even till about the 6-year mark.
Right.
So you have to decide what you want to do. But you will be happy to know that I bought one.
Woohoo!
I didn't buy it. No. I did not buy it.
You really?
I leased it.
Oh.
They're going to install it, and it'll be $5.95 a month.
Oh, okay.
Just as you said, a little peace of mind. A lightning strike like the one that our buddy Robin saw, if that hits your house, your surge mitigator is not going to protect everything inside.
No.
In fact, we've heard reports of homes being struck by lightning and even catching on fire.
Yes.
Stephen and Ann say, I think you cut your own grass, but we don't want to do that. It might be okay during the cooler months, but not during the hottest times for sure. After we close on our home, how do we go about finding a good, reputable grass cutter?
Well, I know one thing. They can go on Nextdoor and put the call out, and many people will reply to that. Oh, I have so-and-so, or I have this company. But you'll get a lot of good information on Nextdoor and just your neighbors.
We're on our 5th grass cutter. We can't keep a grass cutter. We have a tiny yard. He growled. He doesn't like the grass cutters, do you?
Who's in my yard?
The first one we had was good. He had a couple of workers, and he had so much trouble keeping those workers.
Yes.
They wouldn't show
Yes.
up,
Yes.
and then he couldn't get all his yards done. They may be doing 100 or 200 yards a week.
Yes.
So he couldn't get here. And then, of course, we're not happy when he doesn't come. And he says, I've got issues. My guys aren't showing up.
Yeah.
And then there were ruts in the yard. And Linda decided she wanted somebody to push mow.
I do.
So we hired another guy that said he would push mow. And he did okay until he stopped being dependable. And then we hired a third guy who all of a sudden, one week he doesn't show up. Then he didn't show up again and again and again. We had to hire another guy. And now I don't know what number we're on, and he's good. I noticed that we've asked him to cut with a push mower because it doesn't leave the big ruts that you don't like.
Yes.
And I saw the last 2 times he cut, he was riding a big mower.
Riding a big mower.
It's hard. If you find out how to get a really, really good one, let us know. Yeah. I like this fellow that's cutting our grass now, and I hope it works out.
Very nice, very happy.
I wouldn't bet on it, though.
This is from David and Christy. Are you allowed to park a travel van or Class B RV in your own driveway if it doesn't fit in your garage? An example would be a leisure travel Unity van as pictured here.
We're not going to show a picture. We're very particular about the pictures that we show you on our channel because if we don't take the picture, we don't have the rights unless we actually get the permission from the person that took it. So I can't show you that picture, but you get the idea. It's a big Winnebago type van. Mm-hmm. They come in Class A, Class B, Class C. I frankly hope you can't park any of them in your driveway. You're allowed to for a short time while you load it and you go on your trip. When you come back, you can park it for a few days to unload it. I think it's 3 days. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure that neighbors would not like to see an RV parked in somebody's driveway. Mm-hmm. I mean, these homes sell for an average of almost $500,000 here.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make them look any better to park a big old RV out front.
Right.
They do have storage facilities in and around the villages that you can store your RV. Mm-hmm. It's going to cost you a little bit. There are actually a few homes here that have RV garages.
Oh, yes, we've seen them. Yeah, that was kind of shocking the first time we saw them. They're huge down in, what was the name of that?
Conservation Trail area.
Yes, and there's some others. Yeah.
Yeah, some of the big Premier homes have them. They're not building Premier anymore, but I think there are still ways that you can build an RV garage.
Wow. But
have to ask the ARC.
Yeah, and I think if you do have a visitor that has one, they can stay in your front of your house or in your driveway for 3 days. But then they would have to move on too.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You don't want Cousin Addie settling in out there. Go ahead.
Bill and Karen from Minnesota writes this. We are in the middle of the Minnesota State Fair. Nice to see Gizmo is just as famous here. We'll be visiting the villages for the 3rd time in January.
Yeah, look at that. Right in the midway there, the old Gizmo. And we actually had submissions from 2 different people with pictures of that. There are a lot of villagers from Minnesota.
Yes, there are.
Including our good friends Mike and Mary.
Yes, absolutely.
Once in a while, we take questions that people post on our Facebook page. And the Arizona lady says, I'm not sure if you've ever addressed this before, but if you don't have an HOA, how do they enforce rules like maintaining yards or keeping them from looking junky? Well, that's a good question. Mm-hmm. And we've answered it before, but like we always say, we're going to repeat ourselves because we get new questions, new viewers, people want to know. We have a deed compliance office.
Right.
And if you see something in your neighborhood that you know should not be allowed or you wouldn't want it allowed, you can call the deed compliance office. Mm-hmm. They will send a team out to look at the situation. And if it violates the community restrictions, they will act on it. And they will usually send a letter and give you X number of days, I think it's 30 days, to correct the situation. And if you don't, you could be subject to a fine.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And
it's a good thing. We have lots of snowbirds here, and their yards need to be maintained while they're gone.
That's right.
If they don't, the grass gets overgrown, the trees look bad.
Mm-hmm. Weeds start to grow.
Yeah, there's nobody that's going to police that at all if you don't report it. So that's why people report things. If your neighbor did as I mentioned in the last question, have Cousin Eddie come to town. And Cousin Eddie decided to spend 2 or 3 months in the villages and park his RV out on the street and empty his waste into the drains or whatever. Yeah, you would want to report that.
Right.
Those protect our property values.
Yeah.
And if we didn't, we saw it in our last home.
You did.
We lived there for 33 years. When we first moved in, there were good restrictions. Those restrictions ended after 20 years. So the last 13 years we were there, a lot of things happened that had not happened before, like parking heavy equipment in the driveway or just throwing junk in their yard. You know, yard art's okay. And in my book, I like it, you know, in tasteful yard art.
Yeah.
We must have rules, or over time, this place will deteriorate, and I think property values will drop. And although we won't all agree on those rules,
Yeah.
I think it's good to have them.
Yeah, I do too. This is from the Kirbys from Knoxville, Tennessee. Go Vols. You showed us your surgery a few weeks ago. We are so glad everything came out okay. We wonder what kind of sunscreen you recommend or your doctors recommend. With that relentless sun, we feel like it is super important. And you know, it is super important. I try to remind somebody every day, did you put your sunscreen on? But anyway, sunscreen. Jerry has found that the kids' sport is good for him. It doesn't get in his eyes. He's tried some of the others, and they get in his eyes, and then they sting, and he burns, and he has the worst golf game ever when that happens, right?
No. I have the worst golf game ever. It's not that it doesn't get in your eyes. It can get in your eyes.
Yeah, but it's kids. That's why they do it. It doesn't hurt their eyes. That's why they have that.
It doesn't sting when it gets in your eyes. I like the kids.
Yes. And I have used, and that's 50 SPV or whatever it's called. Yes, SPF.
50.
SPF. And I've also used this banana boat. This is so cool because you can just put this right on your cheeks real quick in your nose if you're going to be in the pool and it reflects on your cheeks.
I would like this because you can apply it under and around your eyes without getting it in your eyes.
I love that.
This spray, I'm usually going like.
Yeah, he's doing spray. And I've even used this. One of our viewers sent me this. It's really good, but it's squirty. It's kind of a little bit hard to get out, but I like it. When I Googled it, it says people should use SPF of 50, or going above is not necessary. If you use 30, it's not going to cover you very much, 97%, but 98% if you use over 50. Or if you use 50, it's going to be covering you. It's going to take care of you for 2 hours, and then you have to reapply.
Right.
Yeah, right. I know. We're going, we're swimming. Oh, did we put any more sunscreen on? Oh, no. But you should apply it every 2 hours. And they said even in the cloudy days and rainy days, you should still wear it because you're getting those bad rays.
You know who says that? People that make that.
that make that.
People that make that.
I don't know. It was Google that I asked.
Well, Google.
And the dermatologist suggests that. So anyway.
You can see that a big hat is helpful too. But they just look kind of goofy, don't they? What do you think? Do they look goofy? And here I am. This is how I go out and play golf.
Yeah.
I don't.
He doesn't.
I mean, I did. That was right
That
after
day.
I had
That burning blue light therapy.
Yeah, I was really sensitive for 2 or 3. So I didn't, you try to rub that stuff in. But I really was playing it safe there for a little while, and that looked freaky.
Yeah. Gizmo.
We hear about scams all the time.
All the time.
And this one is from Dean. Yet another scam happened today in the villages. An elderly woman received a threatening phone call from someone claiming to be with Amazon.
Oh, my.
We can stop right there. Amazon is not going to call you about a bill and ask you for money. They will not do that. Anybody that asks you for your credit card number over the phone, hang up. Unless you've called somewhere to buy some curtains or a couch or you're going to order something. But if you get a cold call and it ends up with somebody asking you for your credit card number, forget about it.
It's going to be a scam.
We get 2 or 3 scam calls a day. I am not exaggerating. Telemarketers anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And we heard about this scam, and I've seen it happen several times lately with us, where somebody will call and they are attempting to get you to say yes. And they're attempting to get you to say your name. And then somehow they can use artificial intelligence and paste that all together for you to give permission to something.
To something.
And so if somebody calls and you don't know who it is, it's best not to even take those calls. They've made life more difficult
Yeah,
for sure.
that's for
but
sure.
Don't give information to cold callers like that. Dick and Sherry Snee from Alto, Michigan, write, have you spoken with insurance agents to find out why and how they can demand this of their clients? And they were talking about canceling insurance or refusing to insure properties
Yes.
that are 10 to 12 to 15 years old because of the roof. Our roof, for example, has 30-year shingles on it, but our insurance company has let us know that after 15 years, they will not renew our insurance because of the age of the roof. Supposedly, this is all due to unnecessary claims being filed and people getting expensive new roofs throughout Florida. And I have even talked to one person that did that had very minor damage, if any, but just pressed it and pressed it and pressed it until they got a new roof.
Wow.
And when this happens, it raises
Everybody's
the rates for insurance. And in some cases, I've heard that at least 7 companies have canceled or dropped out of the insurance business in Florida.
Oh my goodness.
So what do? Go with a broker, somebody like we use the Village's insurance. I'm not all that impressed with them. It's hard to get a call back, and they want to call you back within 24 to 48 hours most of the time. You don't really get a person right away that you can talk to, which is not like back in our old hometowns, right?
Yes.
You could talk to
Yes.
to Floyd or Bill or whoever, or Doug, and they'd
Yeah.
settle your problem. They knew you, they knew your kids' names. Here, it's not like that. You have to make an appointment, they'll call you back. I'm not talking about reporting a claim, I'm talking about with just insurance matters. But let them hunt down a good insurance company and find you one that will take your house, and then you can start comparing rates. Here's a fun fact. Our buddy Paul sent us an article from lifeexpectancy.com that ranked all of the counties in Florida for male life expectancy. Our county, Sumter County, ranked number 2 out of the entire state, 67 counties, with an average lifespan for men, drum roll, 79.5, almost 80 years old. That's pretty darn good. Thank you, Paul, for sending that in, and it makes us feel better already.
And this is our last question from Diane. We are leaving Comcast because bill is so high. Switching to Dish. Can anyone recommend someone for high-speed internet? We currently have Verizon for cells, house phone, and looking to leave them also, so need home phone, internet, and cell phone company.
At first, when you read that, I thought her husband was doing drugs. She said bill was so high.
Bill, yeah.
The bill is high. It is high. We had Spectrum for over 20 years. Well, first of all, it had a name, and then they switched to another name, and then they switched to another name. And we stayed right with them all the way through 6 months ago.
Oh my gosh, we did.
And our bill had raised to $220 a month in that area. It's just too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
We love TV, but we don't love it that much. Yeah. So we dropped Spectrum cable, and we kept their Wi-Fi, and that's $79.95 a month. We are looking for other options. So if you know of something, please let us know what you recommend. We did go with YouTube TV and a much smaller array of channels. So we're still covered. We still have TV, but we're spending about $135 a month, $145 a month on that all together. Well, you've done a good job, pal.
He's doing all right.
You ready for your segment? Take it away.
Hey everybody, thanks for sending in these great jokes. I'm gonna give you the trifecta today. Are you ready? Okay. What did the teddy bear eat for lunch? Nothing. He was stuffed. He was stuffed. Okay, that's one. What's the difference between a bad joke and a dad joke? One letter. And my final joke today. A truck loaded with Vicks Vapor Rub overturned on Highway 44. Amazingly, there was no congestion for 8 hours. No congestion! Vicks Vapor Rub, get it? Okay, thanks everybody. See you next week.
You are funny. You're always funny. Thanks to you folks that send him jokes. It really helps out. And that's going to do it for this week's edition of
Mailbag Monday.
Be sure and tune in for Thursday's show, and you can take a ride with us.
It's always fun to take a ride in the villages, golf cart or no. If you liked our video today, please press that like and subscribe button and share it with your friends. Until next time.
See you when you get here.